Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is my all-time favorite Cattleya. It's Cattleya gaskelliana. This Cattleya is native to northeastern of Venezuela in South America, where it's growing on treetops in full sun. It requires a lot of sun in order to get it to bloom. And I provide some extra light all year around in my east-facing window. Here's her spot where she usually sits. And I provide her a little bit of LED light, 4000 Kelvin. And she seems to be doing great in there, in that kind of light. Seemed to be enough and sufficient enough for her in order to bloom on almost every matured pseudobulb. I bought her 4 years ago from Orchid garden in Poland, and she was near blooming size when I got her, and she bloomed the year after that, so that was correct. And I potted her up in a clay pot in my regular Cattleya mixture of sphagnum moss, perlite, charcoal and some medium-sized bark. She seemed to like it, but I don't know, when you read about it, it says it wants a really airy media. So next time when I repot her, I'm gonna use a little bit more bark, but I'm still gonna use the clay pot. Because as you can see, the roots are real fat and sturdy. They're not dead, still alive, even though they're brown and looks awful. They're alive. But I want the roots to search their way down into the media, into the pot, not just curl around the rim of the pot and the sides of the clay pot. But that's the way Cattleyas do most of the time when they're in clay pots. Then I pot it up in clay pots, but they seem to like it in clay pots. I will never change to a regular plastic pot again. They're blooming for me, and most of the roots are alive when I want to, every time I want to repot it. So I think that's a good choice here, at least here in my environment, in my apartment. And this is the latest flower of them all, and she's darker than the other ones. That's been out for at least 2 weeks now. So I just wanted to make a quick update video before all of them fades away, because this year I only got 3 flowers. And they're blooming from 2 different pseudobulbs. And this is the smallest of them all, so it even continued growing while putting out the flower, while opening the flower, and while the flower has been opened, it still continues growing. So that's a strange habit and strange behavior, but I like it. It's nice to have plump, fat pseudobulbs. But I always had a little bit of problem with this guy. It's been infested by scale that never seem to go away. I never get rid of the scale. It's at the base of the pseudobulbs, as you can see. It's a lot of dust from perlite as well, so not everything that's white that you can see here is scale, but I have quite a lot of scale, and I'm struggling with it. Anyways, I water her now. I water her about once or twice a week, depending on how hot it is outside. And now we're having a heat wave, so I've been watering all morning, and I've had a tough time keeping up with the watering. And I never give her a winter rest, since it still gets some additional light, and this species doesn't really crave that. That's not one of her needs, winter rest. You shouldn't let her dry out too much and for too long. And she's also called, she's got a lot of names, except from gaskelliana, she's called Cattleya, Cattleya elegantissima, and lots of other names. And she comes in many colors and varieties and shapes. So yeah, it's a real beautiful flower. It's a beautiful orchid, and I can really recommend her. And I keep track of her, and I keep track of all of my orchids in a regular folder here. Since I lost track of all my orchids more than once by a computer crash, I got so tired of it. So I just, okay, let's go back to the 80s. And just, if it doesn't burn, if my apartment doesn't burn up to the ground, I will still have this folder where I can see is the species, what it is, what genus it is, and this is what kind of species this is, and then it's what color and shape of the flowers, when I bought it, when it bloomed, and repotting media, and when I repotted it, and so on and so forth. That's a safety for me, and it feels great to have that kind of control of what I'm doing, and when I'm repotting my stuff and so on. All right, thank you so much for watching today, and if you like my video, please press thumbs up. If you didn't like it, press thumbs down, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel and see more updates, I'll be really happy if you did so. Alright, have a good day. See you next time. Bye bye.